So briefing it down for our viewers, when you say that they can and they could target the energy installations in
That's
Iran,
right.
would that would be a big blow to Iran? So then you see a counter retaliation from Iran as well.
Exactly.
There's going to be no end.
Exactly. That is what the Americans are worried about.
Yes.
Look, don't forget that the Americans, the election is on 5th of November next month.
Yes.
They would like to conclude all this.
And
Biden has been saying again and again, I want a ceasefire, I want a ceasefire.
Not just him, Trump's been saying they've not been able to, they've been completely...
But the point at issue is, do we have a lame duck president in Washington? I think we have. We have. I mean, it's as simple as that. He is worried about the chances of re-election of Kamala Harris.
Yes.
The simple fact is that she is relying a lot on the Palestinians and the Arab refugees who have been brought into the United States and who are creating chaos on the campuses.
Right.
That they are relying on their vote. But if they are seen as backing Israel to hit Iran in a very major way, well, I mean, you've lost that electoral, constituency. You've also lost the Jews. And they are a powerful political constituency in the United States.
So now that I see it, the way we see it on a chessboard, sir, it's not a direct fight. It's a fight between Iran and Israel, but there is a very, very important player called America. So they are going to be drawing a lot of those movements on that chessboard. Precisely.
Now let me elaborate that aspect further. The simple fact is, there is the problem of range. The Israeli Air Force is the most powerful Air Force in the Middle East, period. There is no doubt on that particular score. They have knocked the hell out of the Hamas and the Hezbollah. They have even hit the Houthis very hard, right? But they have a problem of range when it comes to Iran. The F-35 fighters, the F-15Es, which can carry the heavy ordnance, will need mid-air refueling if they have to hit targets in Iran in a massive way. And mid-air refueling capabilities are only available with the United States of America. That means the United States of America has said, yes, we are with you as long as it is to cater for your defense. Our Aegis class destroyers have fired 12 Patriot missiles to knock out the Iranian missiles that were coming. But they haven't as yet signed on to helping Israel to attack Iran. And they have ruled out the nuclear facilities.
Right.
I mean, they have said it in so many words. The counterpoint is that with a lame duck president, the Israelis have crossed a series of red lines. Will this be one more red line that will be breached? I am not very sure on that particular aspect. Therefore, what we are likely to see is either an attack on the petrochemical facilities, either on the ports, entry ports, export terminals, or on the headquarters of the IRGC and their primary weapon complexes.
Okay.
Last time, don't forget, they had hit an S-300 battery that was protecting Isfahan nuclear facility, right? So they could again take out these facilities to tell you, look, we could knock them out, but this is just a warning, back off or else. Now the fact of the matter is, like you very rightly pointed out, and I know what you were getting onto, is that the choice of targets will dictate what happens next.
Exactly.
You see, if you hit a target set that is vital to Iran, the simple fact is that Iran has no option but to retaliate.
At a target which is very vital to Israel.
And it will go for as sensitive a target. So far it has avoided population centers. So far it has focused primarily on military, well away from the site where you can block coverage, and whatever damage may or may not have been inflicted, you can sort of block it. So that is the kind of dilemma that we are seeing Israel face. That is why you find the response has been so delayed. They have to think it through. They have to think of what the retaliatory steps would be, what the escalatory ladder would look like, at what stage, and how can they control that escalation. Escalation control dynamics would be crucial.
There's just one more question that I want to ask you, sir. Khamenei came out on the Friday prayers, and this has been after a period of a full 5 years. He was there and he was addressing, and people from all over Iran came over. But he spoke to the world, and he said, especially to the Muslim countries, and he said that we all need to unite together. Now, do you think that plea really is going to work, especially on Saudi Arabia, on Qatar, and also on UAE, the important players?
Okay. So let's start with his coming out to address the Friday prayers. Reports had come in initially that the moment Nasrallah was hit, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps took away their leader, Khamenei, and put him in a secret facility, protected facilities, etc. And the jibes that were coming out from Israel was he's hiding in a rat hole, and he's gone to hiding when the Hezbollah is taking a hit, the Hamas has been destroyed, etc., etc. I mean, all these taunts were hurled at that. So this seems to have hurt. This is psychological warfare, but it seems to have found the mark. And the 90-year-old leader, he has decided to come out and openly, I don't care for my life, I've lived my life, but I am not scared. If you want to hit me, hit me. He has given that clear kind of a signal to this thing, to Israel and to the world. We are not scared, we are going to retaliate. Should Israel want to take it further, there will be escalation. There will be escalation that would be meaningful. There would be escalation that could create an all-out war in the Middle East. Now, when that all-out war conflict happens, he has called for the Muslim Ummah, the Muslim world, to unite and attack Israel or to take Israel to task. A same call had been made by Erdogan. There are so many people trying to be Khalifas in the Muslim world.
Yes.
Erdogan of Turkey has also asked in July the whole Islamic Ummah to unite against Israel, right? And then just recently he's made the call, let whole of humanity unite against Israel, whom he has tried to dub as Nazi criminals, war criminals, etc., etc., right? But so far it is just hot air signifying nothing. And even in the Arab camp, you are absolutely right, Sucharita. Absolutely right when you say that the Saudis, they are not happy to see Iran rule the roost. Iran become the leader of the Khalifa, new Khalifa of the Muslim Ummah. It was supposed to be the Mecca, the holy sites are in Saudi Arabia. They would not like to be overtaken like this. There is that Sunni Shia cleavage which the Chinese had tried to smoothen over. But how much of that has worked, the Chinese mediation to bring Iran and Saudi Arabia together, remains to be seen, right? The problem is the Arab street. Jordan may not want to at all, would want to support Israel, would want to go against Iran. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, they have given bases to the Americans, right? So these countries may not at all want to go against Israel. But the fact of the matter is what they have to worry, Egypt may not want to go against Israel. They have to worry about the Arab street, what's going to happen there. So that also the world will have to wait and watch which way this conflict goes. But we are now poised at a very delicate stage. Israel, kudos to Israel. They have knocked out the Hamas. They have dealt a death blow to Hezbollah. They have dealt blows to the Houthis, which are fairly severe, right? They are now trying to take on what they feel is the real source of this problem, which is Iran, as per them, right? And they are saying it's an existential conflict between us and them, and this strike gives us a golden opportunity to hit back. Now the point is, the dilemma is, if they hit back, they have to be very careful about what they hit and how. What they hit and how. And if they hit something and it succeeds very well, much better than what the Iranian attacks have been onto the Israeli target sets, then you have the problem of uncontrolled escalation, which could go anywhere.
This escalation.
No, I'll just add one last thing. Something which we haven't at all looked at. China, Taiwan, Philippines, South China Sea.
Right.
Would China like to take advantage of the Americans being bogged down in Russia, Ukraine, in the Middle East? And now, with the elections coming, is this an opportune time for the Chinese to blockade Taiwan? Is it an opportune time for them to hit the Philippines and try and teach it a lesson for accepting American air bases? And if that happens, you have World War III.
So it's not just about Israel and Iran, it's going to be panning out to the entire world, a larger section of the world. And as you're saying, that there will be opportunities that will be looked at by other countries, especially China. Especially China. So this escalation will have a lot of reflecting points. It is not going to be just between the two countries, as General GD Bakshi puts it. Thank you so much, sir.